Okay. Can you all still see the game? Should still be able to see that. And while I wait for confirmation. So, this is blatantly ripping off Fiesel. I'll happily admit that. Now, this is Populous. This is actually a game I had rented as a kid. I rented the SNES version. And I did not get it at all. I just did not. I had no idea what I was doing. The whole God game paradigm, if you will. I'm making, like, gestures like you can see me. Like, I have a webcam on me. You can, But anyway, the whole, like, paradigm of this game. So, I should step back. Populous was designed by Peter Molyneux before he started believing his own hype and insisting every game he made was going to revolutionize gaming. And then he releases the game, and it turns out to just be a pretty good video game. I believe that cycle really started with Fable, but apparently goes as far back as Black and White. But before those games, he did Populous, which honestly you could say actually did revolutionize gaming. And then he also did Syndicate. I say he like he's the only one. He's not, as you can see the credits here, but he was kind of the main architect, if you will. But Populous is a god game. It is a game where you play as a god. And so I was watching Fiesel do this, and I said to myself, hey, now that I'm a bit older than, 8 years old, which is about what I was when I first played this SNES version and had no idea what I was doing, but the whole you do not directly control the action thing was something I just did not grasp as a kid. It was also a problem I had with the SNES version of SimCity, I remember at first. Like wondering where my increased population button was. And it turns out there is none. You just put stuff down, and if you put the stuff down right, the population goes up on its own. Similar thing with Populous. I was like, where's my make dudes build castles button? And again, there is none. Well, there kind of is indirectly. We'll get to that. Oh, let me take a drink here. But Populous, once you understand it, is actually a lot of fun. So, like I said, I was watching Fiesel kind of speedrun this, and I get the feeling if you don't know the game, or even if you do know the game, what he's doing is even more confusing than trying to play the game. But I can hopefully explain sort of the basics, and maybe we will make some progress here. I don't know if this is going to be a multi-stream thing or just a one-off. One thing I am considering is maybe like every few weeks doing a Populous stream, just wherever I am in the game. But first, let's briefly go over everything so that if Fiesel continues doing runs of this, you will sort of know what's going on. So, I'm going to hit tutorial. And it will... Okay, deity, please type in thy name. Okay, sure. My name is MTI. I got this on GOG, so I can just hit enter, and it doesn't matter. So the game starts off. These buttons over here are sort of your meta buttons, your settings. This is music on or off, sound effects on or off, and this is... I basically have the game paused right now. This is to link up with another player, I believe, or to send a message to another player. This had multiplayer back in the day, in 1989. This is kind of a neat thing. This is... What is this? Okay, this is where you can, game setup. I can save, load. I can go into game options here. I can set the game options. So water is fatal, swamps are shallow, can build. I'll talk more about this when we get into, like, the main game. But there are a lot of things you can change in this game. But, in any event, where my mouse is now is sort of your close-up view of a small portion of the land. This book up here is the Book of Worlds, that is your overview of the whole land. Up here, I have no idea what GC is, but it's in like basically every version except for the SNES version, from what I can tell. These are a bunch of our little dudes. I'm gonna briefly unpause here. You can see they've made little settlements. On this map, any white dots are your settlements. The blue dots are your walkers running around. If I come down here, I happen to pick sort of a bad time, but black is the enemy buildings, and red dots are the enemy walkers, although I don't know if they have any right now. Looks like they're all huddled up there. You can also use the keyboard to navigate here. Up, down, left, right. You can also use these direction keys here. Do the same thing. Let's see what else. Over here is the main sort of paradigm of the game. You do not control your dudes directly. What you do instead is you kind of give them one of 4 modes. The one that's highlighted now is just the settle mode, which is, if I come up here and I unpause, well, actually, let's not do that just yet. So this is the settle mode. Your little guys will just try to expand as far as they can and build land, build buildings. This one here is go to the Ankh, or go to the Papal Magnet. This will basically gather all of your guys in a location. Let's see. It will gather them here. Okay, that's interesting. Right, okay. Yes, I remember now. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, that's what I want. So this is the Papal Magnet. So if I were to click this one, what it would do is all of my guys would try to go over to here. Or more accurately, the leader, one who is marked with this Ankh here, they would go toward the magnet and everybody would go toward the leader, but the net effect is basically the same. This one here is fight and then settle. Your little dudes will look for enemy dudes or settlements to fight, and then if they can't find any, they'll expand and settle down themselves. This is gather then settle. Your little dudes will look for each other, and if they bump into one another, they kind of combine into a stronger person. And again, otherwise, if they can't find it, they will just settle down. So here are, let's see, we got a few more. Okay, these are your options. Okay. Okay, so you can set some options in some of the custom scenes, but anyway, so over here you have some sort of querying tools. This one is if there are any battles, it'll show you that. This is, it'll show you either where your leader is, or if you right-click, where your Papal Magnet is. This one is if you have any knights, which we don't. It will show you those. Or I can right-click to look at all my buildings. Guy running away. Okay. So, with that, your couple other things to check out here. Up here is your mana bar. This is not a linear bar, although it looks like it. Basically, anything you are pointing at or to the left of that, you can utilize that power. And that's really the closest you kind of come to direct control of the game. So you have 8 powers, all told. The first one, the most basic one, is to raise or lower the land. If I unpause the game, I will show that here. I'm going to lower this piece of land, and as you can see, as I lower the land, the settlements, they kind of get more advanced. The more advanced your settlement is, basically the more flat space your guys have to build, the larger the settlement they will build. Drop these into the water if I can. Let me do that. Okay, there we Okay, that did nothing. Cool. Alright, great. I build more land here, so if I left-click, I raise the land. If I right-click, I lower it. Fill all this in. See, now we have a castle. That's really neat. And so the goal is basically to sort of expand faster than the enemy. Now, we have castles here. Pause again. So if you build out enough flat land, you get a castle. And castles are, by and large, the best building in the game. They produce the strongest little walkers. They have the strongest defenses, and they produce the most mana. So you want to... That's the goal, is basically get as many buildings as possible to produce a lot of mana. And so you're saying, well, you just want to build as many castles as possible, right? Well, yes and no. Early in the game, when you're trying to expand, when you're trying to create more buildings, castles do actually have a drawback. I will click on... Where is it? I can query this building. Oop. Does not work. Oh, that's zoom to... No, that's what I want. Oh, I have the game paused. Duh. Okay. I want to click on the... Okay, so... I click on the flag. This is the query tool. This will give you information about buildings or enemies. Or, yeah, buildings or units. So you have this quadrant here. I haven't talked about this. So these two bars are essentially a measure of your overall strength. The blue bar is your overall population. The red bar is the enemy overall population. Like I said, roughly a measure of your strength or how well you're doing relative to the opponents. Right now they're both quite low, because we're in the tutorial and we just started. So if I query a building, this will tell me it will tell me basically four things. The top left here is if it's good or evil, represented by an ankh or a skull. You always play as good in the tutorial and the conquest mode. We are all the hero of our own story, and that holds true in Populous as well. The top right is basically kind of a measure of technological advancement, although I don't know the actual ranks of those. The bottom left is just a measure of how well your I don't want to say how well you're doing, but because that's completely wrong. Essentially, if it's a building or a unit that you've queried, it's sort of showing exactly what it is. Got the shield on there. And then the two bars here, depending on what they represent, depending on what you're looking at, can represent one of two things. If it's a unit, essentially it's a measure of how strong the unit is. If it's a building, the left bar tells you how strong it is relative to a full castle. So this is pretty good defensively. And then the green bar is how close it is to pumping out another unit. And this is the drawback of the big castle. So if I come over here, that's actually okay. See, that's not very strong, and it's about that much. That one's pretty close, it looks like. If I unpause, let's see how quickly this advances. And not particularly. If I come over here and I query this, you can see it is very low, and it is not advancing very quickly. You can see that up there just pumped out another unit. So, one way around this is if I come over here to my raise lower tool. If I temporarily raise the land, say here, that will make an enemy pop out quicker, or make a unit pop out quicker, and then I can quickly lower the land again, and I'm back to full mana production. So the main way you acquire more mana is, again, to raise and lower the land. And that does cost mana, but not very much overall. Castle. This guy. Pop that up. Let's pop up here too. Oh, okay, well, that worked. building out, but I'm building kind of farther away from where I want to go. Anyway. Anyway, so you have the basic idea there. So let's take a look at some of our other powers, shall we? So right now we can use anything up to and including knights. So let me just quickly come over here and see if there is a path over to here, which there is. Okay, cool. So one thing I can do is I can, well, let's see. I want to do this. I'm going to actually just flatten out this land some more, I think. Is better. Flatten. Oops. Flattened it too much. You can see the rocks will sometimes, they can sort of do different things. There are two kinds of rocks. What I meant to do. Oh, we got a dude over there. He's encroaching on our territory. So, we have a few different things we can do. We can move our magnet. We can move it, actually, we can try to put it in an enemy building if we wanted to. We can send everybody after it. Let's try that. So that's a move you have. All right, we killed their leader, so now they don't have a leader. Now we can, because we have a person on our screen, we can kind of mess with the enemy here. We can just raise and lower the land near them. It's kind of neat. I'm gonna move the papal magnets. I'm gonna move it in their building. And I have now taken over their building. Cool. So the next power that we have is, I'm just gonna go to fight and settle. We can make earthquakes. We can do this. That's kind of cool. The next power up from that is the swamp. It is this one. It works best on flat land like this. Like that. There we go. You can see that kind of wrecked everything there. And I, in fact, fell into it and died. That was good. So, okay, how do I want to approach this? I want to do something like that. I need to gather dudes toward the magnet so I can make another one. Here they come. So, if I do that, that should create a leader for me. That is if my guys would stop getting wrecked by red guys. Okay, there we go. Now they're out. Alright, so there we go. We have a leader, and now what I can do is I can turn the leader into a knight. Is the next thing I can do. So what the knight will do is the knight will basically just go and randomly pillage the enemy villages until it dies. Or until it's finished pillaging all the enemy. Moving on from that, our next goal, our next big thing is a lot of flat land over here. Let's fix that. We can drop a volcano. We don't quite have the mana for that. Okay, that's fine. Let's do this then. Maybe I do now. Or can I just not use volcanoes in this? That might be the problem. I might just not be allowed to use volcanoes in this scenario. Okay, that's fine. We'll do this. Oh, let's, okay. Get all my dudes gathering. Alright, let's flatten this out some. So once you grasp kind of the concept of not being able to directly control your units, this game is actually a lot of fun. I think. I'm not particularly good at it, I will admit. So because there's now no real threat here, I can do something like this. Oop. So there was no real threat. Clearly I was incorrect. Gather toward the... my Ankh. Take a look here. It's I can okay. It's nestled among a bunch of red villages. That's not great. Alright, so let's see here. Can I volcano? No. Does not appear I can. Okay, that's fine. Do this then. Oop. Okay, so we just wiped each other off the map there. That's fine. Let's turn this friend into a knight. And then let's move the Ankh. Oh, the knight died. Right, I don't have a leader. Okay, right. Right. Oh, and my knight died. That's cool. So let's see here. What can we do to mess with them? We can throw more swamps down. Do that. What? Get out of here. Oh, they took over my castle. What jerks. Okay. Alright. But I think I do have an advantage here at any rate, so... Oop, went too far on that one. Okay, so what do we want to do now? Can I make a knight? Oh, okay. So I need to... Where is my honk anyway? It is not in a great place for me right now. Okay. Understood. Let's try this. Try to kind of make a sneaky end around here. There we go. Okay, so now I can move the Ankh back kind of to a safer location. Let's say here. Right, they're trying to go toward the leader, who is trying to go toward the Ankh. Okay. Fine. So what that will do is that will make the leader quite strong. Yeah, okay, so my leader is now very strong, so that means I can do this. I can make a knight. That, okay. Let's see how this turns out. Aha! We have raised their castle. We can now do something like this. Let's do that. Where'd my knight go? No, he's still okay. He's going. I don't know why he's going that way, but sure. Maybe my knight is still quite strong, so let me go back to my Ankh. Oh. Check strength of this friend. Not particularly strong yet, okay. What? Here. Let's make a second knight. Where did he go? Where is he? Oh, he's going after. Okay, right. Oh, I appear to be kind of surrounded here, actually. I see. Okay. Let's make another knight. And we'll do this. Let's go fight. You can just lower the land. Yeah, there we go. Just flooded that guy out. Oh, no, I don't. Make another knight. I can. Alright, cool. Sorry. Put that out. Flashes. Oh, here comes the knight. I make another knight. I can. Nice. Alright, cool. Alright, so I think we're slowly winning in this tutorial. So the 7th power is Flood, which raises the sea by 1 level. It is not necessarily something I actually want to be doing, honestly. Let's make another knight if we can. We can, good. Alright. Let's try to fight and settle, actually. So you can just lower things into the sea. Then. Also, we're still gathering. Oh no, we're fighting. We're trying to fight. I don't know if we can't find anything, so okay. Alright, so we are nearing the point where we can try to end the world. Just kind of neat. Another night. So hopefully you understand kind of the basics of the gameplay of Populous now. Okay, that's one of ours, cool. So once your knight burns something, the way to get rid of it is then to... Oh, let's swamp this. Use the power down there. Use the power down here. Worth and Conquer. Yeah, let's make another knight, sure. Okay. By the way, this is, I believe, the only version that has this music in the... Look out, friend. Alright, so now that we have our basically maximum mana, what we can do is we can call down Armageddon, which is this button. Does that actually work? No. Okay. Okay, so you can't do that in the tutorial either for whatever reason. That's fine. Armageddon is what it sounds like. It's basically a world-ending battle where everybody goes kind of to the center of the map for, you know, one last brouhaha, winner takes all. I don't know if that even did anything or not. Yeah. Over pursued a little bit there. That's fine. Alright, I don't know where my knight thinks he's going. There we go. We won. Cool. Alright, so that's the tutorial, everybody. I had 54 castles, 54 towns, and 13 castles at the end. I don't quite know how it measures castles. Feels like I had a lot more than that. But regardless. Okay, now we're back on the tutorial. That's fine. Okay, so with that, let's go. This is going to be the best way to... Okay. I think I can hit surrender this game. New game? Nope, that's not it. Okay. You start this map? No. Okay. To next map? No. Ah, I see. I can hit conquest. That's how we can do it. Alright, so let's take a look at kind of the full game here. So, this game has over 500 worlds to conquer. You will not play through all of them in a given playthrough. You can skip levels, and how you do that is basically getting a high score. And how you get a high score is actually pretty interesting. But basically just has to do with the number of spells you cast and what spells you cast. And at least in the SNES version, you can cast Armageddon multiple times while you wait for your guys to go for the climactic final battle. So that's interesting. In any event, before you start a game, the game will tell you sort of the parameters that you are up against. So here we have the world to conquer is Genesis. Battle number is 0. They were programmers after all, so they start counting from 0. Our landscape is grassy plains. The landscape affects things like how long your walkers can survive out in the wild, and how quickly you generate mana and that sort of thing. So his reactions are very slow. His rating is very poor. I think that's either an overall like measure of skill or a measure of aggression. Land built on people. So what land built on people means is basically as long as I have something of mine on the screen, I am able to directly raise and lower the land there. You can use any of your other powers anywhere in the world, but as far as just directly raising and lowering the land as much or as little as you want, you have to have either people or I think it's called structures on screen. With people, that means basically as long as something of mine is on the screen, I can raise and lower the land. With structures, as long as a building of mine is on the screen, I can raise or lower the land. The swamps are bottomless. If swamps are shallow, they will disappear after a unit goes into them. If they're bottomless, they will just keep swallowing up people left and right, so. And then water is fatal. If water is harmful when your units fall into it, or when the enemy units fall into them, you have a bit of time to try to raise the land and save them. If the water is fatal, they just die instantly. Our population, we each start with 3. This tells you what you start with. So we start with a population of 3. They also have a population of 3. We, as you can see, have access to our full array of godly powers. Earthquakes, swamps, knights, volcanoes, floods. The enemy has access to none of that. So, in short, the only way I should lose this initial battle, Genesis, is if, say, I am 8 years old and I don't understand the whole paradigm of a god game where you do not directly control the action. And you're searching endlessly for a build castles button which does not exist. Name a strictly hypothetical situation. That definitely did not happen to me when I was 8 years old. Alright, anyway, let's start the game and let's see what we can do here. Alright, I don't know why it started me over there, but sure. So the problem with this is I'm kind of building in the wrong direction. My other problem is I'm not actually very quick at this game. I will readily admit. Let's go up there, see if we can. There we go, okay. Alright, so how's our mana doing? Alright, we can almost move the Ankh. Oh, you built another little thing here. Cool. Well, the problem is that's like the top of the map, so that's not really gonna help me. There we go. Hello? Do I not know? Okay. Do something like that. Alright, let's see here. We have Swamp. We have access to Swamp. Let's Swamp there, mess them up. Swamp. This is actually pretty okay. Actually guarded pretty well against Swamp here, unfortunately. Do that, though. Alright, come back up here. I need at least something of mine to be on screen. That's right. I don't have anything on screen. There's no problem. Alright, so let me do this. Let me gather. Actually, let me move the Ankh here. Other dudes toward it. Okay. So now with that, all right. Where is my leader? There it is. Okay. All right, looking pretty good. Let's make a knight out of you. Let's see, where do you want to go? All right. Basically build a land bridge and have our knight go wreck some stuff. Land here. Not quite sure where this knight thinks he's going. The swamp right there. Alright, I don't know why. Alright, I don't quite know why that was so determined to relentlessly pursue that, but sure. Alright, so my knight's doing that. Let's go. I'm still gathering. Let's maybe not do that anymore. Well, actually, you know what? Let's get one more knight if we can. As you can see, sometimes the castles will push other settlements out. Where is my Ankh? Over there. Okay. Let's gather some more dudes toward it. Actually, I'm gonna move the Ankh. Move it to like here. Let's try that. See where this goes. Okay, so there's my leader. Cool. Leader walking toward the Ankh. Oh, it's a rock monster. Okay. What you doing, friend? Well, that's kind of annoying. Alright, let's see how strong is our guy here. He's reasonably strong. Let's make another knight, sure. Let's do this. Let's move the Ankh to about here. My dude, what are you doing? Seriously, my guy, where do you think you're going? I'm confused. Where's the Ankh? There it is. Alright, cool. So let's settle down. Okay, so let's make another knight. And now we're actually at a point where we can end the world. We've got a pretty good advantage here, I feel like. Let's try Armageddon and see what that looks like. Boom. As you can see, everything is destroyed. And we are now moving toward the center of the world for one final battle. They will build bridges if they need to. I need to take care of this. One moment. That one. Back over here. Alt-Enter. Said Alt-Enter. Everybody's moving to the center of the world. I'm just chilling there now. Know exactly what happened. There we go. We won. 27 battles to their 2 battles. Scored 106,000 points. If I hit new game, get this. Well done, mortal. You conquered Genesis. Now battle at Skakwamet. But we're gonna not do that, actually. We're gonna pick a new game instead. Ah! Ouch. Excuse me. Alright, I'm gonna actually get up and do a quick stretch here. Alright. Alright, so I'm going to put in SHADTED. No such world, I know. There we go. Alright, Alright, so if I hit that... Alright, we got a new battle. This is as far as I got in the game. So this is... Battle number is 20. Our landscape is snow and ice. Reactions are very slow. Rating average. Land built on people. Swamps are shallow. Rating is average, so they're going to be playing a little bit better. Luckily, reactions still very slow. Land built on people. Swamps are shallow. Water is harmful. I do outnumber him 6-3, and I do get access to my full array of powers, and he has none. So, he or she. I guess it's him. But all right, let's try this one and see how it goes. Alright, I have not seen what this actually looks like. So let me quickly gather my surroundings here. Okay, so there's the center of the world. Okay. Alright, I have some dudes up there. Okay. Some over there. Okay. Let's see. Where are the rest of my dudes? Where are their dudes? Let's see. So they're down there, okay. So it looks like this is gonna actually take some work. Alright. So there's our leader. Got some settlements over here. Okay. Alright, it's gonna take some work. I think I'm up to the challenge. Alright. Let's go. Where are you going, my dude? Alright, well, I didn't go great for them. So I do remember one issue I had with this one was it's actually pretty hard to tell what level the terrain is. That's where my leader died. That's not great. I am out of mana. That is bad. Pop out a unit, please. Anytime now. No? I think a separate but related issue here is I do not have a lot of mana production. Okay. That's fine. We can. I think we can work with this though. Yeah. All right, there we go. Alright, finally starting to get to a point where I can actually, like, produce mana somewhat. That's good. So. Here, so we got... Alright. Now we're starting to get somewhere. Gather toward beyond. Use. The leader again. Good. Now we can settle. And despite my slow start, I do seem to have a population advantage, at least for the moment. That's good. Alright, there we go. Now we're starting to get somewhere. In terms of our... production. I don't know where they're going that way, but sure. All right. Castle, let's go. Yes, proliferate. There we go. Alright, so I hope everyone is having a good, what is today, Wednesday? It's Wednesday, right? Good Wednesday evening. Watch me kind of stumble through this game. My friend, what are you doing there? Where's my leader? Looking pretty strong. All right, we'll turn you into a knight, sure. Oh, he's in fact not very strong for whatever reason. Okay, it's fine. Let me do what you can here, I guess. Can I swamp? I can. Swamp early, swamp often. There we go. Alright, cool. We're doing is I mean, expanding out this way isn't really going to help me much, but sure. My knight's still... no, okay, knight's dead. that's fine. Alright, so, let's see here. Take a look at my hunk. Yep, go over there, make a leader. Query my leader. Yeah, okay. Okay, I see. So yeah, the problem is, yeah, just that terrain is difficult. Okay. Let's turn him into a knight. Send him on his merry way. What happened over here? Or are we just building this way? Okay. Oh yeah, you know what? Let's do that. Let's move my Ankh. I can't move my Ankh. I don't know. Oh, I can. Okay, cool. Cool. Alright, so as you can see, I have an overwhelming population advantage now after a bit of a slow start. So let's settle. Alright, yeah. Let's see. What's my leader doing anyway? Let's come over here. Oh, my guy. Okay, cool. My knight is still wrecking things left and right. Good. Some swamps down there. Swamp down there. Okay. My knight has thus far been actually pretty reasonable about not. Alright, what is this dude doing? Just expanding all over the place. Alright. I mean, good for him, but also what? My dude, where are you going? Alright. So those are the stupid rocks I have to isolate. Gather back the Ankh, please. Alright. So the knight is my bread and butter. The knight is really the only way you can reliably attack the other side. So, alright, let's take a look at how my leader's looking here. Oh, strong. Alright, yeah, let's go. Knight, please. because I now have knights on the screen, like... Wait, what am I to do? So it looks like knights are intelligent enough to avoid the swamps you make, which is nice. What is this? Did this happen? Can't have that. Boom. Back over here for now. I'm still gathering. Oops. Okay. You know what? Let's make another night then. Sure, that one's pretty strong now. Good old knights. Their advantage is pretty overwhelming now. Let's end this, in fact. Boom. Armageddon. Let's go. Everyone to the center of the world, please. I think I had like 3 buildings left to go, but I am highly confident we will win this climactic battle. Yep, we won 63 battles, they won 0. There was 119,000. Well done, mortal. You conquered SHADTED. Now battle at Quasitory. Okay, let's see what Quasitory has to offer us. Continue. We're on level 25. Landscape is rock and lava. Okay. His reactions are very slow. His rating is good. Land built just on towns. Swamps are shallow. Water is fatal. He can earthquake. He can swamp. He can night. Oh boy, he can swamp. That might be a problem. Okay. Swamps are shallow. Water is fatal. Okay. Alright, let's this is the first rock and lava type I've tried. Alright, we each start with 3. Neither of us can flood. I can make knights, they can't. That will probably be what turns the tide. Okay. Alright, I think I'm actually going to call this here. But I will make sure to write that password down. And I will pick it up either offline or elsewhere. Oh, excuse me. So, thank you all for watching and lurking. Let's find y'all a raid target before I head out here. Let's see. Make sure yeah, okay, everything looks good as far as that goes. All right, just making sure. I don't want that. I don't want the... Okay, so let's see who's doing stuff on Twitch today. I certainly enjoyed this, and hopefully you now have a better idea of how this game actually works. Because I will admit, I definitely did not have any idea when I was younger, but I get it now mostly. And yeah, I really enjoy it. So, send you all to today. Let's see. I don't know, honestly. Oh, I know where I'll send this. Okay. Send you to Endless Soul, playing the PC 98 version of East 1. There you go. Thank you all for watching. We have come to the end of the stream. Reached the end of, I believe this is circa stream 21. I think I actually forgot to count one at one point, but that's okay. In the meantime, thank you all for watching. I hope you all have a wonderful night. Bye, everybody.